It's November 22, and the last time I can remember things feeling like this was back in 2008. You know, you just feel change is coming, whether you like it or not. There's a big change coming. And back in 2008, I had a digital photography and floor plan and marketing business serving estate agents in London and Sydney. And I'd grown it from a team of 3 of us to a team of 120 people. And we got wiped out by that downturn. We ended up surviving, but having to restructure the company from a team of 120 down to a team of 30. We kept it going. And having been through that sort of change once before, it's a little less daunting this time round. But when you've never been through stuff like that, it's terrifying. But it will be okay. Because everyone, either there are people who don't give up, or there are people who do give up. And you're only one of those 2 people. And if you're someone who gives up, that's okay. You decide to give up on running your own business, go and get a job, or whatever it might be. If it's just too overwhelming and just too difficult and you can't see a way to make it work, and you can't currently find the strength to see it through, hey, do what you got to do. There's no shame in that at all. But if you're someone who's been working on building up your own business and determined to hold it together, then I'm sure you'll find a way. But the common enemy to all of us who just want to make a living by making a difference and helping our customers out is a problem that I've uncovered after 20 years of working in an estate agency, or working alongside estate agents with customers. And for those of you who don't know, I've built from scratch and released to the market now 3 estate agency CRM products. The first one being WebDaddy. Some of you might remember that, with a company called Datography. We had clients like Chesterton's and some countrywide brands, and Douglas and Gordon and Dexter's, and back in the early 2000s. That was an amazing, and it was the first ever web-based CRM system. And I can remember, having conversations with Rightmove and Zoopla. Well, it was a Certahome before it was Zoopla, and getting to know a lot about how the portals worked and a lot about how big agencies worked, but having really no idea just how unfairly the cards are stacked against small businesses when you're dealing with big businesses. And then I left that company and I started up a new one, and that was called, the product that was called, we built in 2008 was called, well, it was the second CRM system. It was called Easy Match. Not to begin with, it's called something else to begin with. The name's so embarrassing I'm not going to repeat it. It became Easy Match, and that became a really fast growing CRM system. Did really, really well. Still going today. Still got happy customers today. But I also realized that it wasn't going to be the company that was going to allow me to fulfill the full scale of my ambition in the property sector, which is to actually make moving home easier and more fun than the wasp chewing, glass eating, fingernail splintering nightmare that it is today for movers and agents alike. And so back in 2015 I began planning and constructing what has become Best Agent today, having learned all the lessons I'd learned in my 15 or so years at that point working in the industry as to what I needed to build that would finally have a chance of achieving what movers and good agents actually want, which is a fairer marketplace in which to operate and to not be turned over by the small number of large companies that have too much power, and they exploit that power to their advantage because, hey, that's their job, right? Yes? I'm trying to make a film here. And I'm going to get straight to the point about Best Agent now, because I think quite rightly and understandably, many estate agents are absolutely fed up with one after another attempts to be the new thing. And I totally get that, and I hear it, and I respect it. You know, why didn't let me go way back. Why didn't Property Live work out? That was the national property portal of the NAEA at the time, which had the backing of the NAEA and lots of agents. It failed, never got off the ground. Why didn't Prime Location become the top site supported by agents? Shareholder interests. Why did Agents Mutual fail to fulfill its promise with On the Market? And I know it's still going, but my point is, why didn't it end up giving agents the alternative that they were dreaming of to get them out of the clutches of the biggest sites? And then Home Search came along and promised to do a portal. Why, you know, and they had thousands of agents, quotes, supporting them. But that never came to pass, and Home Search is what it is today, and that's cool. And it's a very liked product in the lead gen space. But it didn't change anything. And then of course we had Boomin, the most recent one. And everyone thought that just because they'd managed to make money before, they were going to do it again, and that didn't pan out for them so well, did it? And why didn't it? Why, when so many agents want something new and something different? Well, I could talk for literally 3 hours answering that question. But I'm just going to get to the 2 or 3 massive key points that every single attempt to come into this space has missed out or got wrong. Okay? First and foremost, the one thing that every single attempt has got wrong, except Rightmove, is that if you don't have all the property, in other words, more property than any other site, why would the consumer bother with your site? Huh? If you talk to consumers, first-time movers especially, they know nothing about the industry, they know nothing about the different sites. What do they want? They want the easiest place to go to find the most properties that are for sale or to let, so that they can start looking for a new home. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. And so every single attempt to start up a new site has thought that they're going to achieve it whilst somehow not having enough property on there. And the only one that actually got that right was Glowbricks. I don't know if you remember Glowbricks back in 2008, 2009. And Glowbricks was working. And what did Glowbricks do differently? It didn't bother with data feeds. It didn't bother going around trying to sign agents up. It just used technology to harvest all the properties for sale and to let, put them on one site, and it was succeeding. How do we know this? Because Zoopla bought it for millions and killed it stone dead because it was a threat. What was it a threat to? Why didn't they keep it alive? If they bought it, why not keep it alive? It was a threat to the high level subscription income model that they were relying on, right? So the only site that ever actually came along and had the potential to release agents from the clutches of high subscriptions got taken out by one of the websites charging high subscriptions. So there are lessons to be learned from that. And, you know, all these other sites that have tried since haven't listened to the consumer. And if you don't give the consumer something really different that actually solves their problems, insofar as property sites are concerned, they don't care, they're not going to bother. They just don't care, they're not going to bother. If you haven't got, first of all, you need the most property. And if you haven't got the most property, forget it. You're not going to survive. You're never going to make a difference. It's going to be an also-ran. Secondly, it's got to have something that solves the movers' real problems. Well, the problem with agents building new portals is that agents don't even acknowledge what movers' real problems on portals are. For example, out-of-date stale listings, fake listings, listings that are there just to trap you into making an inquiry when the listing's not available. And then getting no responses. I mean, Rightmove's figures alone say that 40% of inquiries go unanswered. Can you imagine how frustrating that is as a mover? Now, I know all the reasons why it happens, and I totally sympathise with them. You know, there are masses and masses of low quality inquiries from the portals that are often, more often than not, just a waste of time. Waste of agents' time, and I get that too. So that's a problem for agents. Well, let's just start with those two problems, okay? The number one problem for movers, which is trawling through loads of listings that they don't get a response from, and either don't get a response at all or get a response saying, sorry, that one's gone, but can I take your details anyway, which is what they don't want, right? So that's problem number one. And for agents, it's unbelievable numbers of leads that are just a waste of time and don't bother. When you ring them back, they don't answer and they never come back to you. So you are paying a high subscription price for leads, right? Leads that you are paying for that don't respond when you actually follow them up. You're handing over money to have your time wasted. There are many more problems, but that's the biggest problem, okay? I understand the value of agents' time and the different value, different tasks that you can spend your time doing. And trying to get in touch with people who can't be bothered to respond to you is one of the biggest problems, okay? So that's the number one problem that Best Agent seeks to solve for agents. So we're going to solve the problem for movers. We are going to eventually have the cleanest and most relevant data set for home movers. And note, I say home movers, not developers, not investors, not buy-to-let landlords, none of that. They're all welcome there, but that's not who we're catering for. We're catering for highly proceedable home movers. Okay? And in this video, I'm not going to go into the detail of how we built it, we're not going to be there on day one either, but we will end up with a far smaller number of leads, but they will be a far higher quality. They will call you back, and if they don't, if they are unresponsive, then we will be able to mark those leads as unresponsive and stop them wasting other agents' time. And with it's the biggest. That's just one of a long list of problems that we can solve. So the biggest complaints I've heard so far from some agents, a lot of agents know about this and don't care, is that we're listing properties that we haven't got permission for. Well, that's not illegal, right? When you advertise stuff, that stuff becomes public information and it can be indexed to you. But we're not monetizing that. We won't make a penny off those listings unless you buy a lead that you want to buy from us as a result of your listing or as a result of a new vendor or landlord inquiry, okay? Next problem we're going to solve. If you are a small agent without a large marketing budget, your visibility in your local town is unfairly low, and a lot of movers just don't know you exist. You might be one of the best agents in your town, but because you can't compete with the blunderbuss marketing of the big brands, more than 50% of all new instructions go to less than 10% of the brands, and they're the ones with the biggest marketing budgets. They're not the best agents, they've just got the biggest marketing budgets. So that's a problem for the other 90% of agents who don't get equal access to those leads. Best Agent solves that problem. All right. Again, there are other videos explaining how it does. I'm not going into it now, but it's a massive change because it will mean that the number of vendor leads you have access to will have nothing to do with your budget or how much you pay, and everything to do with the quality of your personal response to those leads. And they cost nothing to respond to, and they cost nothing if you get the valuation appointment and go and meet them. And it's only if you want to take that instruction on, that's the point at which you would pay us our commission for that lead. Some of the feedback I've had from some agents so far makes it sound as though you expect the site to be up and running perfectly on day one. It's not. It's absolutely in its embryonic phase. It is functioning. It's up and running and functioning, but it has a long way to go to become mature. And the best way to speed up that process is for agents to engage with it, to actually register. Costs nothing to join, and you'll find all your listings are already in there. And by registering, you'll be making sure that any leads that do come to your property that you are free to ignore and cost you nothing to acknowledge and respond to will be coming to the right email address or the right phone number. We're not going to be charging anything for telephone leads, but you won't get a telephone lead unless you put your number in. So you need to activate your account, put your telephone number in, then you get telephone leads straight to that number. It doesn't come through some some weird call rate number from us, or we're logging them. It comes straight to the number that you've done. But not anyone can't call that number. Only people who've properly registered and qualified themselves, and so we know that they are serious leads, will be able to actually access your number. Your number is not displayed on the page, right? People who want to call you will have to click on the Call the Agent button. We'll check their registration. They'll then have to go to the I'm not a bot capture, and then they can see your phone number and call it. So we'll hopefully dramatically reduce the number of time-wasting phone calls that currently come from the portals. What else? So yeah, by having 100% of the listings, it gives movers a reason to go there. By making it easier for that's the other thing, right? So when people register, when movers register with us, they don't have to type in their email address. By forcing them to register with one of the social accounts, we know they have a working email address, and that the email address they're registering with is a functioning one. We know that. And also their mobile numbers, when they register them, they have to verify the mobile number before they can submit a lead. So we know we've got a good email address and a good mobile number. And just the hassle that they have to jump through to register properly means they're much less likely to be time wasters. And it also means that when we send you through their email number and phone number, email address and phone number, we know that they're good, we know that they're working. And that'll help save a lot of wasted time. Now, the next thing that's actually it's just live and in testing at the moment, in November 22, is video registrations. So we are already allowing all seller or landlord leads and all buyer or tenant leads the option of registering a short recorded video message with their registration, so that when they apply to you, when they apply to come and book a viewing on one of your properties, or when they're looking for an agent to come to evaluation, if they've decided to record a short video message, it means you get to actually see and hear that mover explaining their scenario and their circumstances, making it easier for you to decide whether or not it's a lead you're interested in. Now, we know not a lot of people will use this, but we're particularly aiming it at the sort of next generation of movers, the younger movers who are very comfortable using videos, making video messages, that kind of stuff. And it's obviously secure and private, and you can only see these video messages once you've set your account up. But what we think it will do, and what we hope it will do, is speed up the human connection, speed up the personal connection. We think and we hope, based on all the testing that we've already done, that when video is involved, it facilitates a faster human personal connection. And yeah, there are all kinds of risks and problems and stuff, and we're going to be monitoring it very, very closely to see how it goes. But we're going to be allowing movers and agents to make a personal connection by video message right at the point of registration. Totally securely, of course, and in total privacy. But we think that's going to be a really interesting new addition, and will help both the agent and the mover reach a faster decision about whether or not this is someone you want to deal with. If that makes sense. We're going to be asking movers to give a really short, like 60-second summary of their reasons for moving, their current situation, that kind of stuff, so that you can get a feel for how genuine they are, or whether they're a waste of time or not, and whether they're the kind of applicant or client you want to deal with. And it's the same with agents. So when agents, you can now, when you join Best Agent, you can record a default video greeting, so that any potential client that might want to deal with you will be able to see that private video message from you, which is not public. It's only if they've registered and submitted a vendor lead, and only if you've decided to record this greeting, it automatically goes out to them instantly that they submit their lead, which means that you're ahead of the curve from the other agents that haven't recorded a video greeting, because straight away they might go, oh, I love this person, yeah, I'm happy to talk to them, and with one more click they can invite you straight to evaluation of their home. And all of that costs nothing. We're going to be, in fact we already are allowing movers, and we're going to be allowing agents to effectively administer the public listings, so that we very quickly will be able to get rid of fake listings. There aren't that many, but there are some fake listings up there that we want them rid of. Get rid of any listings that aren't homes. We've done our best already to remove garages, land, that kind of stuff. But also stale listings. So whenever a mover inquires on a property and is told, oh, that one's not available anymore, that'll get taken down by the mover. If you as an agent say that property's not available, the mover will be able to mark it as not available, and it will take it down and stop inquiries being made on that property, because we only want real, available homes listed on Best Agent. Real as in not fake, available as in not gone, they're actually available to view, and homes as in not development, not land, not garages, not fish and chip shops, anything like that, right? Just homes. We're here for home movers. And so, we know a lot of agents know that their competitor agents are cheating and gaming their listings, and we're effectively going to allow you, just behind, not publicly, but behind closed doors, to flag listings that you think are fake. Now, if there are repeat offenders of agents that keep on repeating and putting up fake listings or wrong listings, they'll get warnings, they'll get a certain number of warnings, after which, if they keep offending, they'll just be removed. They'll just be taken down, and they won't get any more leads. But if you're an agent that makes malicious claims, false claims about someone else's listings, and you repeat offend at that, then you'll also get put in the sin bin after a while. Yeah, listen, most agents are professional grown-ups, right? But there are some real children out there who behave like children when it comes to how they behave with their competitors, and we don't want any of that on our site, basically. So with all of these things, we're going to be working towards hopefully the cleanest, freshest, most up-to-date, most relevant property listing site, which will effectively be community administered in terms of the listings by both movers and agents, and will allow agents and movers to connect via video message, and will not rely on your marketing budget, so that we will not be accepting corporate accounts. All agents can participate, but at a branch by branch level, and that's it. And if we've already had one corporate say, oh, well, we only deal if we get discounts, and we'll say, okay, fine, don't worry. Just don't buy the leads. If you want to buy the leads at the same price as everyone else. That's what I mean by a fairer future, right? A lead is a lead, and everyone should pay the same price for it. The prices of leads are always linked to the value of the property in question, whether it's an applicant lead or whether it's a client lead. The cost of that lead is always the same for all agents, but the price is a sliding scale related to the value of the property, so it's fair. Because there's no point paying the same price for £1 million applicant as there is paying for £100,000 applicant. It just doesn't make sense. What else? Guys, I think it's worth pointing this out, right? I have bootstrapped this site. I've spent 5 years, 6 years, 7 years actually, 7 years with my own in-house development team, software development team in Portugal, building this site without investors, without partners, so that I will never have to be subject to corporate agendas. And I can stick to my mission of actually bringing about some beneficial change to the industry. We will get lots of things wrong, and then we will fix them. And it will be an iterative process. And I know a lot of people will complain about it, and that's fine. We'll learn from those things. So I always welcome constructive criticism. But what I'm really hoping for is that those really high quality agents who operate with integrity and who see a long-term benefit of an alternative source of new business will proactively engage with us and be supportive in terms of responding when leads come through and giving us feedback when things aren't working properly and telling us what you think about it. And I'm going to start hosting private group video calls with agents who want to discuss how the site is shaping up. It's going to be very, very quick changing. I mean, not that quick. We're a very small team, so we're up against companies that have got much, much larger teams than us. But there are pros and cons to that. But in terms of the tech, for those of you who don't know, we've also got built into it a back office CRM system, very simple one. perfect for one branch agencies, but it's simple and effective. It's fully GDPR compliant. So if you want it, it's there. We've also got a supplier marketplace platform built into it, so that in due course, suppliers who want to connect with your business to speed things up and make them more streamlined and automated and to reduce duplicated data entry will be able to connect up with your business. That's further down the line. And we're also going to be having a form of recruitment opportunity in there where, well, that's for another day. I'll explain it another day. But the whole idea is that we've built an entire, we call it the Best Agent Universe, an entire set of technical products that are all actually linked in one single place, so they're all completely integrated, on which we can build a fairer future for the industry. I have been rabbiting on for a very long time. How long is that? 26 minutes. So I'm going to shut up now and look forward to your feedback, and really look forward to your engagement with the site, and hopefully working alongside you to make the industry better. Thanks guys, bye bye, look forward to hearing from you.